What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the latest survey over on the official forums, asking for our opinions on which 3 Boss Syndrome and which 3 SS characters we feel like need to be buffed and given the EX system next in the King of Fighters All-Star. This is a really interesting and really cool way for Netmarble to be picking the next characters to give the EX system to. This is something we were promised whenever they announced this system, so it is live over on the official forums, and I'm going to go ahead and be casting my votes as well as giving you guys my reasoning. Spoiler alert, there's going to be some small bias in this video, but we will talk about that. But before we get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. You already know what time it is. I don't even need to say this anymore. Cue the intro. Alright, you guys, so like I said in the introduction, we are going to be taking a look at the latest survey over on the official forum, so if you want a link to this guy, a link will be in the description. So with that being said, let's take a look at it. Now, of course, the reason why we are doing this time around, this was promised to us back when they announced the EX change-up system. This is in order for them to get a good gauge and a good idea of which characters they need to go in and give EX change-up kits to. So that's kind of why we're doing this. So basically, the way that this is structured, there's going to be 2 different things they're allowing for here. First and foremost, we can vote for up to 3 BS and 3 SS characters respectively for this. So there's going to pretty much be every character in the running that hasn't already been given a EX change-up kit yet. And then beyond that, we're also going to be able to make our own suggestions in the comments section, and there's going to be a small giveaway for that. So I will go ahead and talk about that second component of this, but the main focus here that we're going to talk about is of course going to be the voting for the EX change-up system. So first and foremost here, we have our pool of characters for our Boss Syndrome characters. I don't necessarily agree with the way that they're doing this right off the bat. So really when it comes to these types of things, I feel like whenever they do these surveys, they really should be for characters that are on the bottom of the totem pole that need help. Because as we saw with BS Orochi and BS Omega Rugal recently, whenever they got that new EX change-up kit, basically they also got buffed. So I feel like adding in characters that don't need buffs whatsoever, such as, oh, I don't know, Nameless and Ash, sure. But when it comes to this list, I feel like they really should have just included the volumes that were older. I feel like that would have made more sense, because what you inevitably get with these types of things, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, there's always 2 different trains of thought with this. People are either going to vote based on which characters they know and feel should get buffed first, or they're just going to vote for whatever their favorites are if they're available. So I get the feeling that characters such as Leona, for example, Gainitz, Nameless, Ash, they're going to be pretty popular on this, just based on the fact that they're popular in general. But hey, I could be wrong, but I get the feeling that that's probably going to be the case. Now, all that being said, I think the way that I'm going to approach this BS list is I'm probably going to approach it the same as I'm going to approach the SS list. Since they're giving us up to 3 picks per pool, I'm probably going to pick 2 characters I feel like definitely need the buffs, and then I'm just going to pick 1 character out of favoritism because, you know, I'm a dirty person. So when it comes to that, we'll get to the list and we'll kind of talk about that, but then you've got the SS list here, which again is pretty much up to date with everybody, including Terry and Mary, who do not need buffs. Again, I'm probably just going to pick 2 characters I feel like really need the buffs, and then I'm just going to pick 1 character out of favoritism. So again, because I'm a bad person. So let's take a look here. We've got the questionnaire, so here's where you can pretty much select up to 3 characters. Now, right off the bat for the BS pool, I can tell you guys right now, Geese needs buff. This is a character that is very low on the totem pole and the priority list as far as these BS characters are concerned anymore. You know, he isn't necessarily a terrible character, but he definitely is in a bad position comparatively speaking to a lot of these other characters. So that's definitely going to be the route that I go. As far as the next one here, there's multiple different ways I could go with this, but honestly, I think I'm going to go with Gainitz. Gainitz, I feel like really needs a buff. This is a character that while he is super powerful, he is towards the bottom end of the spectrum when it comes to his use cases, his versatility, his flexibility, and his overall prowess in the game. So I'm definitely going to put him on the list. And then finally, we get to the one that I can pick out of favoritism since I gave myself permission. And on this one, I'm really torn. I don't know which direction I want to go on this one because I'm kind of up and down on this. I'm not going to go with Nameless, even though out of all these characters that I haven't already clicked on, he'd be the one that I'd consider a favorite here. But you know what, guys? I think that the one that I'm probably going to go ahead and give it to here, I'm going to give it to Chrysalid. I'm going to give it to Chrysalid, and I'm going to do that because Chrysalid is a character that is still bugged, right? And so my general hopes with this is if I vote for Chrysalid, not only will it improve the odds, hopefully maybe for Geese, because they're in the same volume. That's kind of a low priority reason why I'm doing this, but still. But beyond that, when it comes to BS Chrysalid, I want to see them fix the issues with this character because the bugs with him are ridiculous. So honestly, they probably don't even need to buff him at this point. They probably just need to fix the damn guy. But you know, hey, it is what it is. Now, other characters in here, I'm not really going to consider the Phantom Invader, the Phantom Gatekeeper, or the Phantom Ruler characters, the ones that are going to be from your Epic Quest. The reason being is because they're free characters anyway. And I feel like when it comes to Zero and Ignis, they're already in really good spots for free characters. And Maxima, yeah, sorry, Maxima, there's just no hope. But beyond that, those are going to be the characters that I think I'm going to go with. I might come back, but those are the characters I'm going to pick for now. Now, the SS characters. So right off the bat here, I think it's pretty simple to kind of pick from this list who needs what, but the problem is there's so many of them that need it, right? So right off the bat, the first volume of SS characters, both Athena and Mai, they need buffs. So I'm probably going to end up just picking, you know what? I'm gonna go with Athena. I'm gonna go with Athena because I feel like Athena of the two needs it the most. I feel like Mai is still a pretty good little damage dealer in general. She isn't necessarily anything super special, at least by, you know, comparison to the banners that we've seen subsequently released since her initial release. But at the same time, it's a vote for the volume 1 still, so it's kind of like a half vote for Mai, I guess, right? But I just prefer Athena in general, but I also think that Athena needs help in this game. So in general, this is just going to come down to, it could be a coin flip type thing. I'm just going to pick one of them. Same thing with this volume here. So Kay and Kula, I'm just going to pick one of them. Honestly, you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the one that needs it the most. I'm going to pick Kay. This is a character that definitely needs help. So, you know, again, I kind of consider it kind of like a half vote for the banner that they're respectively on, and being that Mai and Kula could both use buffs as well, why not? So I'm definitely going to split the difference there since I only get 3 votes. I can't pick everybody, but there are quite a few characters here that I could pick. I'm just going to go with those two because I feel like those two really do need it. Now, the last one here, there's a case to be made for Iori for me right now, just because of the whole half vote thing at this point for me, making an excuse in my own head because I can't pick enough characters that need buffs at this point. You know, I could pick him because I would like to see Kyo get buffed, but like I said, I'm going to give myself one vote per pool that is just a pure favorite, and I'm going to go with King.
Predictable!
There's nothing biased here at all. You shut your mouth. Do not type it. Do not type bias in the comments. Anyway. So those are going to be the characters that I'm going to pick. So kind of to recap, I ended up going with SSK, SS Athena, SS King, and then I ended up going with BS Gonads, BS Geese, and BS Chrysalid. So those are pretty much the ones that I decided on. Again, reasons being is 2 of each one of those pools needed the buffs really bad in my opinion. And then when it comes to the third one, I just picked out of favoritism. So that's pretty much where I'm at with this. But you guys should at least give me partial credit for not picking BS Nameless, because I could have easily done that and been a jerk. So with that being said, this last part here, they want you to make a suggestion, right, for the EX change-up system at the bottom. And basically, if you do that in the comment section, then they're going to give you a participation reward of 100 rubies, and then 20 lucky participants are going to get 1,000 rubies. So you can go ahead and leave a suggestion on what to do with the EX change-up system in the comment section. My suggestion to all of you, and what I'm going to be suggesting, is that they go ahead and they fix the idea behind the change-up system as it pertains to the Unified Banner Fest, because as I said in my Dear Netmarble video, hell, I should probably just link that video in this comment section at this point, but really they need to change that, because there is no reason whatsoever why we should have to use 3 Boss Syndrome memories to go ahead and change up a non-BS character. It just doesn't make any sense, and I feel like it's something that needs needs to change. So that is going to be my personal suggestion. Now, of course, it says here that they are going to start distributing those prizes on 3/16, which is when all this stuff kind of goes away that are going on for our current events with the rerun of Volume 1 for the Boss Syndrome characters and so on. So that's pretty much what you're looking at there. So if you guys want to make that comment, go ahead and do so. I'm going to go ahead and submit my my votes here. Just make sure these are my final answers. Am I locked in? I feel like I'm locked in. Again, there's so many characters I could pick, guys. Like, I just feel like Kay and Athena really need it. Again, their banner mates also really need it, but Iori really needs it. But I can't pick everybody. And then this one here I'm pretty happy with, honestly. Chrysalid, Geese, and Gaynitz. Yeah. I know that Leona and Nameless and guys like that are going to end up being real popular with this, though. All right. So there we go. And we cannot see what the results are. So, with that being said, you guys, good luck with this thing. Make sure that you go vote on it. Looks like over 2,000 people already have, so make sure that you guys go do this. This is very important for us right now because, again, this is going to be how they are going to gauge what characters they need to go ahead and change up next. And by proxy of the fact that they went ahead and buffed this last set of characters that they gave the EX system to, chances are this means that they're also going to buff the winners from here. So if you have a favorite character in those pools that needs buffs, I would definitely look at just voting for some of the characters that need it the most and not going completely off bias, you guys. I know that it's really tempting, but maybe do something like I just did and just give yourself one character to pick from each pool out of bias, because to be honest, there's never going to become a point in this game where all these characters that are on the bottom end are going to be able to compete whatsoever unless we do this. So it's really cool that they're doing this right now, and I feel like we should really use this for the way it's intended. So anyway, you guys, that's going to be today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. You all take care. Peace.
Continue.